a moment. Okay, great.
All right. Good. Okay, thanks again. My name is Tobi Deckert. I'm an entrepreneur and product developer. And as Sebastian told, we were at the Startup Brandnew Award last year also. I have a lot of content, and I will go quite deep into some tools and some hacks just to follow up a little bit, but I will rush through it. So just take some notes quickly and repeat, watch the video afterwards. Makes more sense, I think. Okay, so I'm talking from the very first idea over to some testing to get some insights, following up with scale up your business. And let's get into it. First of all, you start with your idea. You probably are at different stages right now, from ideas to prototyping to serial production, but maybe at some point I have still some nice insights for you. So it's important to analyze first. That's what we heard already. And organize everything and then bring it into action. Your goal is here to get an MVP, a minimum viable product. That is a product that you can sell already in the best case, and that you can then develop further to scale up. To analyze, it's very important, like we heard already, to know your target group and your competitors. Try to know your customer as good as possible. Dig into social media groups, listen to podcasts, visit forums and blogs, and really listen to customers, listen to the peoples, listen to their problems. There are also events on Eventbrite, and you can really learn from that. Your goal is to get to know your customer, his interests, his hobbies, his age, his profession, his buying behavior, and most important, how to reach him. So as you might have noticed already, this is about hardware products, and from the very scratch, but also in the digital business, you will take some benefit from these tips here, I guess. So to mention some tools, there's, for example, 16 Personalities. That is a short website on which you can see different personal types. You see how they behave, how they act, and learn from those different types of people. And some of them might be your customers, so it's good to understand them. On the other hand, you have a tool or a website like it's called Answer the Public. And if you're looking for content, if you're looking for what people are looking for, this is a website which gives you some insights of what other problems your customers have and what they're looking for. Some best practice tools. I don't like to mention Amazon that often, but for first analysis of competitors, it's always nice to just type in the first keywords of your product. In this case, a coffee machine, for example. If you only type in coffee, you see already main keywords, competitive brands, and you get already some information about what to look for and how your competitors look. Analyze the reviews, especially the bad reviews. If they are not fake, it's good to learn from other customers who have trouble with your competitors' products. And now there's a kind of really mighty hack. There's a tool called X-Ray from the company Celix. And this tool, it's a browser plugin, allows you to see the actual monthly turnover in money and in pieces of your products or competitors on Amazon. So for example, this DeLonghi machine here, it has 3,000 sales per month and 800,000 revenue of euro. And this is amazing data, which is really important for you in the beginning to see if your market is really there or not with your planned product. All right, let's hit to the organization. Next step would be mind mapping and your team sprints to organize them. So it's all about managing, structuring, set up your team. There are two important tools. One is Miro. Miro is a mind mapping tool. It is collaborative in real time for free, and it's amazing how you can structure and organize your ideas in real time. The other tool is Asana, which I can really recommend. You can organize your team, get your responsibilities to your team, manage your tasks, organize your sprints, and prioritize. So this is important to keep your time tracking and your progress. All right, and now it's time for action. So prototyping and sourcing. So probably some of you are already in the stage, but during the judgment of the Brandnew Award, we saw already some companies that are still in a prototyping phase. So I want to give you some hints because this is also kind of my expertise area. So basically keep it the visuals like a ramp, from easy and cheap to complex and expensive. Your goal here is, as we said, to have at least 30 to 100 MVPs, minimum viable products, and in the best case, already a stable supplier. So let's go into it. Your first thing would be to create mockups and a design. Then you need CAD drawings, computer-aided drawings like manufacturing instructions. Then you want to build prototypes with external help already, and then it's time to find a supplier. Don't mix up this arrangement, otherwise you lose a lot of time and money. So in terms of mockups and design, try to use really your own resources. Use paper, use wood, textiles, a really easy way to come up with your idea. So your goal is to see on one hand, can your idea work already? And you want to make others understand your idea. Then it's the time for CAD drawings. This is kind of a frustrating step because sometimes you need expensive software and it can be, you figure out that something is already working not as you planned that. So try to get help from external platforms. There's, for example, Upwork. It's a really nice platform to find high valuable freelancers for a fair price, and they can help you, assist you. And yeah, and there's also CutCrowd, for example. This is a platform I use sometimes when it's really getting a lot of work in terms of modeling and all that stuff. But in the meantime, with all these 3D printing issues market, in the meantime, there's a lot of CAD software in which you can draw your ideas already for free. And well, remember, your goal is to make others understand your product. So it takes minutes basically in the meantime. All right, now you want to have a manufacturing instruction and it's time for prototypes. So think of different models. This is like Elon Musk's philosophy. If you have different problems, try to find alternatives. Think in module A or B for the different issues and then later on connect them. If you have another problem or another part of your product and it doesn't work, try to switch to module C or C2 or C3 to find an alternative and keep your things going. Always keep in mind that you have fast production methods in the meantime, like 3D printing tools. Fused deposit modeling is like normal 3D printing, but also you can build stable parts with selective laser melting methods. You can print even metal. So use that. That's really cheap and you have fully functional products. There are two platforms like Shapeways or Protolabs on which you can upload your files once you have them designed, and within weeks you get your parts. All right, next thing would be to find a suitable supplier, and this can also be a time-taking issue. We all know Alibaba and AliExpress. I don't want to take too much time on them. AliExpress is for getting single pieces. Alibaba is to find, for example, suppliers basically in China. But there's also other platforms like Matchery, which are really interesting. They have big databases, and you have direct customer service people whom you can talk to and upload pictures, and they will find out suitable factories for you. It's kind of exclusive because you get to know where big brands are manufacturing their products from them, and yeah, they really try to sell this, of course. But also a nice hack is to use the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. This is a kind of extra paid plugin or external thing from LinkedIn, in which you can filter people or companies, and you can really filter like for coffee machine manufacturers. And in the meantime, more and more suppliers are also joining the LinkedIn network, which gets also in terms of sourcing much more powerful. All right, now comes a funny secret hack. I love this platform. It's called 1688, as you can see. And this is kind of an internal Chinese supplying platform. So it is totally in Chinese and you might get lost on it, but with a small browser translation hack, you can translate the Chinese stuff. And this is where Chinese factories get sub-suppliers. And if you have, like, you do your bill of material, your list of your products, and you want to know, is this pricing I got from the supplier really fair or real? You can always look in this platform and check if somebody's fooling you or not. So always double check here. It's kind of interesting, but don't use it for finding suppliers, of course, just for information. All right, so now it's time to have your fully functional MVP ready and make your supplier produce your idea. And that means we are in the next level, testing. Testing. This is what Inigo told already you on the last presentations. You want to validate your business case, and that comes also to you the question of Alexander, I think, because you once get the first figures in the end, which makes you evaluate your business. And I give you some best practice tools. So first thing would be forms and surveys. Then you need a web shop, a small one, and you need to build up some ads. And then you have a fully functional sales channels already. And I show you how to do that. There's a small step in between. You want to create some creatives, some photos, if you don't have photos already, do use 3D renderings. If you cannot produce a video yet, try to make animations, but create already a nice text and a story. Then you can start off. So forms is the tool to get already real feedback, because we have Google Forms and Typeforms as the main players to create forms. And what you do is basically have a little survey. Within minutes and some pictures, you can already get customer feedback. You can type in your questions and you get really nice feedback from the scratch. Same does Typeforms, a little bit more clean, but it also costs something. And in the end, you need to get data, for example, about the colors of your product, the pricing. And you as a developer, you always have a mind and an opinion, but the market has a different opinion, and this is why you need this. And most important, be personal, be real and authentic, like we heard already. Also in this early stage, try to make up a story and do it with a video, and everything will be nice in the end. And there's one important hack: already implement an email opt-in. Try to get a no-brainer offer that you say, okay, if you take part in the survey, you will be one of the early adopters. You will get a 50% off discount. And if you get already like 200 people in the survey and you have already 200 email address, you have already potential customers, which is really important. And all this without any money spent or any time expenses. Okay. Then it's time to set up the web shop. And this is a little bit of a bigger issue, but I try to make it easy and understandable. So our goal is to have a fully operational B2C channel. B2B, let's talk about that later. And there's one guy vacuuming all time the fire on the ground, and there's another guy who has a nice suit on. So it's time to understand this jungle of tools. I don't have time to explain you the advantages of all of them, but I want to dive deeper into Shopify, because this is an easy tool which I can recommend definitely for you as a startup at the moment. So it's all about managing your mood to stay positive, the web, and some nice tools. First of all, start with a Gmail account, because the Gmail accounts are connected to all other tools, and it makes everything a little bit easier, because you would need a lot of more accounts. To start with, you need a bank account. Penta, for example, is one of the first business bank accounts, which makes everything really easy and smooth in the meantime. This can be connected to PayPal, and PayPal is connected to Shopify. And now you have already all the payment systems. Like from one side, customers can pay you, and Shopify is paying you in real time. Then Shopify is kind of the skeleton, the backbone of your shop system, and you need some extra plugins to support, like for example Bilby, which has an enterprise resource system, and you can be connect to your logistics partner already with easy file sharing or manual, and already the invoicing for your tax accountant. Then comes the phone center, which can be connected. This is some tools. And then you get already some marketing tools like MailChimp, Facebook and social and Instagram can be connected. And of course, Google can be connected with two important things: Google Ads and Google Merchant Center. Two different things, all called Google, but dive deeper into that if you plan to start that way. All right. So this is kind of a complex area. Try to get help from external people who know how to deal that, and yeah, then go on. And last step would be the ads. This is now to sell already with profit, your MVPs that are sellable in the best case. And it's time to not burn money only, but earn some money also. So again, you want to manage, and you want to do this with good creatives like pictures and advertisements, a nice product, which you have already, hopefully, and a nice checkout process in technical terms. So the good creatives is to generate traffic on your website. You need a video or pictures. There's a discussion which one is better, which one suits better. But make sure you have a scroll interruption. People, there's so much content on social media, you need to catch attention. You need the first seconds of a video be catchy, or a picture that is totally explaining. Then make tests if you want to use Google or Facebook or both, and then test. Put some budget there and try to make this profitable. Your product, of course, needs to convince to sale. That is done by story and emotions on your website. You need a nice sales page, a sales funnel, and always, you as a developer, you might think always in your product and your features, but think of the benefits your customer has and present this instead. And then it's important to have the sale procedure very clean, technically fast, and an easy procedure for checkout. People need to trust your website that they want to sell, that you don't have here blocking in the end. Okay, so your mission is track and surveil as many data as possible. Each euro spent needs to generate views and then clicks in the end. And finally, the viewers and the clickers, they need to put your products in the baskets and lead to sales. So always try to measure those different steps. And if you have, for example, a lot of views on your website, but nobody clicks the products in your basket, then somehow your shopping system doesn't work, or you have to analyze where the problem is. So to give you just some figures very quickly, like healthy web shop conversion rates are 2 to 3%. Over 3% is very good. Lower, there's a problem. Don't spend money on ads anymore. Take care of that. The ROAS, return on ad spend, should be between 3 and 4, just to not lose too much money for the production costs of your product. Keep that in mind. All right. And now, once you got that, it's time to scale up. But first of all, celebration, of course, because you sold already some of your MVPs. And this is a nice atmosphere now in your team. And now it's time to manage everything. So your further goals are to either create more cash, enlarge your team, build up processes, and make sure that you're always on stock. Because being not on stock, which can be really fast nowadays, is losing turnover. All right. And to now get a little bit the connection to the two presentations before, you have to imagine that you are now on a highway. So you either continue just like you did in your tests, and you put a little bit more money, a little bit more product, and make money. But the next step would be to reinvest your money and focus on branding and building up your company, because now it's time to get more action. Or think already in having an exit. And this is where we come with the financial planning and with Svenja's part. This might be a little bit too early, but depends on your intention, what you want to do. I would like to give you some more insights in what to do and the best next steps if you want to reinvest most effectively. So first of all, about your team and establishing the processes and workflows. It's again about web tools and managing everything. Your goal is to get more time to cover all the things you need to do. So do everything by yourself were your first steps in the beginning, but now it's time to get automation and bots doing your work. That means try to look for APIs. Those are application programming interfaces. That means that those different apps, they have to talk to each other. And they do it via so-called CSV files. Those are basically lists and databases which can be read by the others, each other, and then you have more optimization. For example, if people shop in your shop, those files are sent directly to your logistics partner, and they send the product out, send the product to the customers, and send the tracking number back to you. And yeah, all the information is handled automatically. On the other hand, try to grow your team more efficiently. Establish SUPs, standard operating procedures. Those are like to-do lists, and define always results and goals. People or your team wants to know where your goal is and how to achieve it. You need to define responsibilities. Otherwise, everybody's doing what he thinks is best, but try to make them understand. Also, take care of the duration. Use Kanban and sprint planning to not extend your task or make them explode. Your to-do list will be like unlimited, and try always to focus and cut the duration if necessary. And always describe exactly what is to be done. And here's a side tip from my side: don't do too much meetings all the time. It's always better to record something and then send it, like especially for those procedures, because the people in the meeting, they don't understand sometimes some parts, and if you have recorded something or pre-recorded, they can replay it in their own speed and understand it, or even double it up. And therefore, I recommend Loom. This is a really nice and easy and fast tool in which you can record your screen with yourself or not. You can explain procedures, and once your recording is finished, this is already uploaded to the Loom platform and accessible via link, and you can share it even in an email. And this is so easy and makes things so much faster than which was ever imagined before in some time-taking meetings. All right, and now some side hint and communication rules. I always like to mention them. If you talk to somebody and somebody's listening, you're always super slow, and yeah, you're not understandable really, because yeah, it's always nicer to have text and like figures or animations which are visible and you can listen to it, and then you're fast and you can fast forward and understand, so you're much quicker. So don't send like 5-minute voicemails or stuff like that. Try to write things on point and include a picture, and then you will be much more effective. All right, so branding, next part. This part is about now to get more trust and recognition. So trust on one side, because you tested your MVP with a mock-up homepage. Now it's time to establish a really CI. Don't do this at the very first step. Don't lose money for branding, logos, or whatever. You want to do this now, as you know that everything will be successful. And this can be time-taking and more expensive. So make sure you be also fast and easy. Try to get inspiration from website like Color Code. You get some nice colors, which should be through your whole design and product. Think of a logo. You can again get external help, like from expensive to cheap. Fiverr is a tool which is really cheap, but also the results are not really nice. And 9to9 Designs is a little bit more expensive, but you get good results if you don't have designers in your own team. Yeah, make clear that you get a nice typo. Use easy ones, which are Google fonts, for example. They are recognized by each browser, and you don't have technical issues later on. And then also define the language you're talking to your customers in the end. And finally, implement that on your platforms, on your social media. Each platform has, in the meantime, sub-pages which you can create by yourself with your own brandings and colors, and use that and implement it there. How to do this? There's a nice tool I like to recommend is Canva. We all know Photoshop and the Adobe Creative Cloud, but this tool is so easy and even handleable by interns. You can, within minutes, create banners, advertisements, and all you need for your branding to be really nice in the beginning. All right, and now, most important, in the end, the sales needs to be pushed. So your goal is to increase B2B sales. For that, we heard already, we need traffic. And to get this traffic, I show you some things or some basic knowledge. SEO, search engine optimization. This is how you can be found on Google. Search engine advertisement. This is in putting money into being seen, basically run by Google. And then social media, organic view, and social media ads. Basically, for example, run by Facebook or Instagram. So those two in the top, like SEO and SM, are the organic traffic that you get, what is time-taking because you need content first. At the lower end, you have to spend a lot of money to get this traffic. So let me give you some tips or hints. There are, again, tools which you can use to get seen better, to get ranked better, like Ahrefs or Sistrix or SEMrush. and you can use those tools to find trends already, to get search volume. This is like I started in the beginning, like with Amazon, the product. Now you need to have the overall view and the search volume in general, and get the right keywords, and then produce content exactly fitting to those keywords. In the meantime, there are tools like Text Broker on which you can order text and content from other people if you don't have time by yourself because your team is too little in the beginning. And then there's platforms like Unsplash and Pixabay in which you get pictures and content for free without having any license problems or something. That's good to start with. Your goal is here to rank high on Google organically. Then we have social media. Here's your goal to interact with your target group because your potential customers might be here in these groups. So at this point, I want to explain also quickly the difference between team writers and influencers. A team writer has a lot of product knowledge and uses your products, but in the reality, he doesn't have much reach. So your goal is here to get trust of your brand and your company because skilled people are using your products. Influencers, on the other hand, they don't know your product, they don't have much knowledge, but they have a lot of reach. So with them, your goal is to get them in affiliate systems that they can recommend your product if they like it, and that they create some more turnover and traffic. All right, for the social ads, we talked already about it. Your goal is to get people curious about your doings and finally buy on your website. And with search engine advertisement, it's the same issue. You want to make people find what they are looking for and then, of course, sell your products. So if you have the traffic, set up a nice sales funnel, try to get people into your shopping cart and make them check out. And always track your data, your conversion rates, your expenses, and if you're profitable or not. Because it is possible from the very first beginning to make money already and to be profitable. And once you reach that, then it's time for the final overall goal. Make so much B2C sales that also B2B interesting target groups get automatically to you and ask for direct sales and deals. So I'm not talking about the big margin spending, gross selling through distributors. I'm talking about a B2B target group which has a need to your product and buys more quantity instead of the single B2C customer who is already on your website. Yeah, that's it from my side. I think I kept the time schedule. If you have further information, you can also connect with me. And yeah, so this is it for me. Happy
Great.
for question session.
Thank you so much, Tobi. I think that was your complete toolbox. But great to see that and really good information. So yeah, of course, I think we would keep it like a open Q&A session. So everybody who wants to be part of it, stay in the session, and we will hand over to the speakers directly to get the best information from them. So